Twitter can be a really hard place if you're just getting started. You're just sending tweets out there and nothing's getting likes, nobody's retweeting, nobody's following. You feel like you're just yelling into the void all the time. So that's why I made a list of my 10 favorite beginner tips and tricks so that you can skip past all of these mistakes that most people make and get right to the good stuff, start seeing some results. My name is Sid, and I'm here to share my experiences in the field of social media marketing so that you guys can stop grinding and start growing, because you deserve it. Let's get into the video. I'm just gonna hop right in because I want to do these 10 tips in 10 minutes so that you guys don't have to waste a bunch of time. If there's anything that you'd like to see elaborated on further, please feel free to drop a comment down below and I'll make sure to add it to my list of videos to be made. So, without further ado, number 1, stop using so many damn hashtags. I see this all the time. People just throw a bunch of useless hashtags into their tweets, and hashtags are incredibly ineffective at building engagement. You might not think so because, well, it's adding discoverability and people can search for them, and it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Trust me. Because of marketers' overzealous use of hashtags when Twitter first came out, most of us have been trained to see blue as advertisement. People don't want to be advertised to, especially not by personal brands. So, by cutting back on hashtags, making your tweets feel more personal, you can boost engagement from the people already following you, driving shares, and focusing on that as a source of engagement rather than potential searchability from throwing in a bunch of hashtags and casting a wide net like that. There are some occasions where it's okay to use hashtags, like if you're trying to get involved in a conversation that's trending related to the content that you create, or you're trying to connect with other people at an event, like if you're a streamer, hashtag TwitchCon or hashtag PAX is perfectly acceptable. But other than that, try to steer clear, and if you do use them, try to keep it to like 2. That seems to be a good number. It doesn't overwhelm the tweet and create a sea of blue that's gonna be just skipped right past. Tip number 2 is figuring out search operatives. Again, we'll use the example of somebody who is a Twitch streamer. If you're looking to connect with other Twitch streamers, a great way to do that is by going up to search and typing in Twitch or Twitch streamer. But the issue that you run into is you're going to have to wade through 5 billion going live posts to find one genuine conversation about Twitch. The way you get around this is by typing in Twitch or Twitch streamer space minus .tv or HTTP. And this is going to cut out all the links from your search. If you're on your web browser, you can go over to advanced search and select the option to exclude links. But figuring out search operatives allows you to do this across every single platform that you're using Twitter on, whether it's your computer, your tablet, or your phone. You can weed out these bad results and get right to what you actually want to search for. Tip number 3 is to turn off the Twitter algorithm. Going up to those 3 little stars in the top right-hand corner, you can select See Latest Tweets first instead of Home. And this is going to allow you to actually see every single person that is tweeting in chronological order. By doing this, you eliminate that pesky little algorithm that loves to cut people so easily if you don't engage with them regularly enough, and vice versa, end up cutting you from their feed. Because if you're not engaging with them, they're not engaging with you, they don't see you, you don't see them, connection lost, and you're gonna have to go to their profile and start engaging with them again that way to get that back. By having latest tweets first, you can literally engage with everybody that you have time for, making it much more effective. Instead of having to be on every 10 minutes to keep up with everybody, you can just hop on a couple times a day and easily cover the majority of posts that have been sent. Moving right on to tip number 4, make sure that you're using images, videos, and GIFs, anything visual in your tweets. Since Twitter is such a text-heavy platform, anything with a visual element is gonna jump out at your followers and make it much more likely that they're gonna pay attention to what you're saying in that tweet and drops some sweet, sweet engagement. Tip number 5 is to start using Twitter lists to personalize your experience. You can create lists for every single subject that you're interested in, and at the end of the day, instead of having to weed through your entire feed to find these types of posts, you can just go right to that list. You can create a list for people that you're really trying to make a connection with. You don't want to miss any of their posts. Just make a list and put all of them in there. That way, at the end of the day, you can see everything they've sent, and it makes life so much easier. Trust me, I've started doing this, and it's a great way to keep up with everybody that I want to. Tip number 6 is a simple one, but it's super important nonetheless. If you are trying to tag somebody in a tweet, don't just put at their name and then the body of the tweet. Make sure you put a little period before the at, because when you don't put that period in, you're limiting the visibility of that tweet to people who are only following you and them both. Number 7, we're just flying right through these. I told you you'd be fast. Tip number 7 is don't be afraid to retweet your own tweets. The average shelf life of a tweet is about 24 minutes, and that means that after 24 minutes, your tweet will stop dropping off of your followers' feeds if it hasn't picked up enough engagement to start being shared around. So if you tweet something that gets decent engagement in the morning, try retweeting it again later in the afternoon and hitting a whole new audience. You can pick up some extra likes, pick up some extra shares. I've had some tweets where I send it in the morning and it gets maybe 20, 30 likes, and then I retweet it in the afternoon and it gets another 80 likes. So this can definitely work to start bumping up your engagement. Tip number 8 is know when to use polls versus just straight out asking a question and having people comment their answer. Polls are super valuable because they're easy to engage with. They don't have to do much. They don't have to think of anything. They can just click an option and move on. So it's great if you're looking for ideas of directions to go with your content. I use it a lot when I'm asking you guys what videos you'd like to see on the channel. I'll put a poll there because it makes it much easier for everyone to give me their opinion. But tweets with polls in them are not super great for engagement otherwise. Comments and likes and retweets are much more valuable for increasing your reach. Somebody voting on a poll isn't going to get shared with their followers, but somebody commenting does have the potential to get shared with their followers because their reply shows up in their followers' feed. So if you want to start getting some engagement going and getting some new eyes on your content, don't be afraid to just ask a question straight out without a poll and get people's response in the comments below. Tip number 9 is make sure that you have a good ratio of retweets to personal tweets. If somebody drops by your profile and they're scrolling through your feed, and all you have are retweets, it just shows them you don't really have a whole lot of original ideas, and they're probably not going to follow you. What you want to do is have mostly personal quality tweets and then sprinkle in a few good retweets. And by doing this, you become a much more valuable resource for them to follow, because not only are you creating great content that's going to show up in their feed, you're also exposing them to new creators and quality people for them to go and follow as well, bringing more great content into their personal feed. Tip number 10, last but not least, don't be afraid to follow large accounts on Twitter. I know a lot of people don't like doing this because they feel like following these large accounts is kind of a waste because there's very slim chance that you're going to get that follow back. But if you have this attitude, you're missing out on an amazing resource. Go out there and follow some large accounts with good engagement that are similar to what you're creating, similar content, similar style. Then hop into their threads and start commenting on other people's replies. Start replying yourself. You're going to open yourself up to so many more people stopping by your profile. And since you're already kind of similar to this person they're already interested in, there's a good chance that they're going to drop a follow. So while you might not get the follow back from the large account, you're opening yourself up to potentially dozens of great new connections just by using the valuable resource of these high engagement threads. So there you go, guys, 10 tips to get you started on Twitter. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you want to hear about any of this stuff more in depth, hop into those comments, let me know. If you want to chat, jump on over to Twitter, drop a follow, and let's get some conversations going about this stuff. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. I appreciate it. Get out there, start creating some content, start growing your brand and your future, and I will see everyone soon. Have a great rest of your day.